Hi everybody, here is a lap guide of the Oulton Park Fosters circuit in the Spec Racer Ford. This is in a private test session with default iRacing weather. Hopefully you can use this as a beginning basis for your week ahead. Considering this layout only has 6 actual corners to think about, it's surprisingly difficult. It's a lot to think about throughout the whole lap, and while I will talk you through what I was intending to do at each of the corners, you'll find that on my lap, which was the fastest of the session, I didn't always do that, and turn 1 here is a good example. I've come across the line in 4th gear, and I used the banners on the left hand side as my braking reference point. I aim to brake around the point I'm in line with the yellow and black banner on the left, but on this lap I brake earlier. It's a really difficult corner because it tightens a lot on the exit. There's a load of curb you can use, but you'll get a 1x really easily if you go too far onto the curb and onto the runoff tarmac area on the outside. So the key point here is you want to carry as much speed through the corner as you can, but you want a later apex on the curb on the inside. This is around the point where the inside curb becomes slightly tighter, and it's almost at the end of the inside curb. Having come off the brake, if you just apply the throttle gently through the corner to build the speed up, it'll give you more room to get the car to where you want it to be on the apex of this turn. You can then carry that speed down the long straight afterwards. You want to keep to the right just on the exit of that right hand kink, which should be flat out. This left hand turn, you want to lift off the throttle so that you keep the car to the left hand side or centre on the exit of the turn to set you up for the right hander at the bottom of the hill. This right hander is the section that cuts through the full circuit to make this Foster's layout, and it's also the tightest corner of the track. Having said that, I do this in 3rd gear. It was tempting to try 2nd, but actually it was always slower every single time. So trying to keep the car in the middle of the circuit into the braking zone, you want a straight line braking towards the left hand side, braking before the tarmac change. I was originally trying to brake on the tarmac, but actually you want to brake early and accelerate early from the apex of this corner. And as you're in 3rd gear, you need to keep the momentum going through here. So it's brake early and accelerate early is the key point to do this. Carrying the momentum out, you can then go flat out all the way up the hill, which is why it's important that you get a good exit. When iRacing did the artwork for this track, they left an interesting trail up the hill and also along the next straight where there was an oil spillage, and I can only assume this is cement dust. It actually is really helpful. The braking point for this double right-hander I tend to use as the end of this cement trail. I want to brake just lightly, bringing the car in. I want to sort of miss the first apex. I want to be just slightly left of the curb than I might first think, but because the second apex I want to get closer to the inside curb on the second part of this double right-hander. The reason being is the road kinks slightly to the left on exit, so much like turn 1, it's really easy to run too wide on the exit of the corner and get a 1x, especially as the track undulates slightly through the turn as well, so it can push you out wide. Otherwise, maintain the gear you're in and just lift off the throttle, apply a little bit of brake, and just guide the car through the corner, trying to get onto the power as early as you can. Much like the previous corner, the final corner, Old Hall, I want to use the tarmac as my reference point for braking. You can see there's a small light grey patch directly on the racing line. I use that braking just before. Again, I want to lay apex on this corner. The apex reference point is right at the end of the inside curve. There's a small access road on the right hand side, little tarmac access road. You want to aim for that really. Don't take too much curb, can unsettle the car here. And you also want to be conscious is, much like turns 1 and the previous turn, the track tightens on exit, partly because it drops away a lot down a hill. So you want to make sure you don't run out too wide. This is a really easy point to spin on this track, which can be really annoying if it's the last lap. Shifting down, I'm taking this corner in 3rd gear, and once again get on the power early enough to bring it down the hill and up the hill on the other side towards the finish line.